Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So, looks like Alina Habba just got thrown under the Trump train and she might end up getting sued. Habba is being accused of silencing a sexual harassment victim who worked at one of Donald Trump's golf clubs. And they're accusing her of doing this in order to impress Trump, which appears to have worked. So, here's the deal. There's a woman named Alice Bianco. She worked as a waitress at Trump's National Golf Club in Bedminster, New Jersey. While she was waitressing at the club, Bianco says that she was intimidated by her supervisor and that he was pressuring her to have sex with him. So Bianco was only 21 at the time. She sought the help of an attorney. And then as soon as the word got out, Alina Habba stepped in, and all of a sudden she became Bianco's best friend. So Habba convinces this young woman that her attorney didn't have her best interests at heart. And she coerced Bianco into signing a non-disclosure agreement in return for $15,000 in hush money. So this all went down in mid-2021. And there's text messages that prove all of this communication. There was one text message from Habba to Bianco where she wrote, quote, "Hi, love. It's Alina. I wanted to check on you." And then Bianco said within hours, Habba was warning her to, quote, "Be careful with this guy." Now, she was referring to Bianco's attorney. And then after that, Bianco says they met at Habba's office several times and in her car. And that's where Habba presented her with a short, one-sided non-disclosure agreement that wildly favored Trump and Bianco's supervisor. So according to Bianco, and according to the lawsuit that she filed against Trump's club, Habba told her, quote, "You don't want to go public with this. I've been raped. I can help you. I can protect you." So in signing that document, Bianco was prohibited from telling anyone about the sexual harassment. She couldn't even go tell another attorney to have them review the documents. That's the way it was written. Like, she couldn't go and show it to another attorney and say, "Hey, can you check this for me? Is this fair? Am I getting a raw deal, or is this, legitimate?" And it said, if you go talk about this, if you spill the tea to anybody, you will be hit with a $1,000 per day punishment. So Bianco signs it. She takes the $15,000, and then tax season rolls around. So when she realized she had to pay tax or income tax on that $15,000, she reached out to Habba to get advice. And then by that time, Habba was already working. She was already representing Trump in several legal matters. So by this time, it was April of 2022. So Bianco texts Habba several times, and she's asking her, "Hey, I appreciate all your help. I know what you've done for me. I just need to ask you some questions." And Habba just kept texting back and saying, "I can't give you legal advice." So she never explained. She never said, "Hey, I'm actually representing Trump now. It would be a conflict of interest." She just left Bianco hanging. So Bianco ended up getting a different attorney. She ended up suing Trump National Golf Club in November of 2023. So just like 5-6 months ago. And she accused the club of, quote, "using Habba as its Trojan horse agent." So Trump quickly settled that lawsuit, which tells you everything you need to know, because we all know Trump settles nothing quickly. He drags everything out, especially when it's someone on the other end who doesn't have a lot of money, like a young waitress. But yet he agreed Bianco could keep the $15,000 that they already paid her. He would not prevent her from speaking about the case and about the harassment. And he paid Bianco an additional $82,500. This part, though, is where Habba gets thrown under the choo-choo, because Trump's team drafted a 4-page agreement with Bianco for this new deal. And they gave her basically everything she wanted. And then the agreement specifically says, quote, the parties agree that Alina Habba is not a party to this release. So Bianco is releasing the club from her claims against them of playing games, of using Habba to undercut her. But this agreement specifically leaves Habba out. So that means Bianco can sue Habba directly. And Bianco's attorney told reporters, quote, my client is certainly considering suing her for fraud. Now, one of the attorneys who represents Trump's club spoke to the Daily Beast, and they said that Habba was, quote, a member of the club. And then she dismissed the idea that Habba was working covertly on behalf of Trump. She's like, oh, this is ridiculous. This is a stretch. But Bianco's attorney questioned in court documents, okay, if that's the case, how did Habba know exactly how much Trump's club was willing to pay to silence her? Right? If they weren't working together, if Habba wasn't in communication with Trump or at least his attorneys for the club, how did she know how to draft that agreement and to make it $15,000? And then, as the Daily Beast points out, this would explain exactly how Habba went from an attorney who was, living in almost complete obscurity to becoming one of Trump's lead attorneys in very high-profile cases. I mean, seemingly overnight, Habba went from no one to being on TV everywhere next to Trump's side and losing every case, by the way. I mean, everyone knows, it's been on display, she has very limited legal experience, especially in the kind of cases that he's involved in. She is obviously out of her depth in these cases. She has lost every single case that she has been involved in with Trump. I mean, the Clinton case where they tried to sue Clinton, they got slapped with something like $1 million in fines, and the judge said it was a frivolous lawsuit. The New York fraud trial, the E. Jean Carroll case. I mean, Habba has cost him a ton of money. So everyone has been questioning why. I mean, are they having an affair or what the hell is going on? So this would make sense. And let's also take a step back. Let's consider Habba's statement to Bianco. She said to her, I've been raped. And yet she is out there defending a man who was found liable of sexual assault, who one judge said it is rape. It is digital rape, even though the statutes in New York do not allow the jury to award her a finding of rape in every other way, every other shape or form. And, just on a practical level, it is rape. This guy is accused, Trump is accused of raping a 13-year-old child at Epstein's property. He's accused of sexually harassing and assaulting dozens of other women. More than two dozen other women have come forward and accused him. And yet you have women like Habba and Congresswoman Nancy Mace out there making a complete and utter mockery of rape. They're justifying the unconscionable actions of all rapists by supporting and trying to protect vile predators like Trump. They're telling other women, oh no, if he was really that bad, would I be standing next to him as a rape victim? Yeah, apparently you're that craven. It is truly sickening. So I hope Habba ends up paying this woman a ton of money. I hope she takes her to the cleaners. Anyway, I will let you know what happens. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please donate if you can. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.